we're going to move on because we got a lot to talk about tonight. We're going to move on to another subject about the Guardians of the Galaxy. What?
Nothing. Keep going.
The Guardians of the Galaxy. So Dave Bautista, I was going to call him Batista because I watched wrestling. I think about I was part of when I was in college, we called ourselves the Dave Gang because we used to love Batista. We'd cheer him on. But that was a long time ago. Now he's
I'm sorry.
Drax, and
Is his name not Batista?
his real name is Bautista.
Oh,
And
well, I'm
actually,
not going to call him that.
a fun fact: when he first started wrestling, he was called Deacon Bautista, and he was Devon Dudley's right hand man, who was Reverend Devon, and then he came in to be like his assistant, and he was Deacon Bautista, and then they changed it to Batista to make him like a badass. I guess Bautista, they didn't like it. Sorry, Dave, they didn't like your last name. Made shorter, Batista, and then that stuck, and then he went back into movies, and now he's back to Bautista again. Little short wrestling knowledge for
I
you
like
there.
him, and I don't want to disrespect him by mispronouncing his name, but it's
Yeah,
hard.
Bautista is officially how you say Dave's name.
I
But
don't
yeah,
like it.
Dave Bautista. But he was talking about Guardians. They just finished shooting it. The holiday special came out. Guardians 3 comes out not too far away this summer. And here's what Dave said. Dave called his exit from Marvel a relief. And now he's moving on from Marvel. And here's what he's kind of saying about the whole experience.
I'm so grateful for Drax. I love him, but there's a relief that it's over. Bautista recently told GQ magazine, it wasn't all pleasant. It was hard playing that role. The makeup process was beating me down, and I just don't know if I want Drax to be my legacy. It's a silly performance, and I want to do more dramatic stuff.
He went on to say this too.
I'm sorry. Well, I can't see the top of it. I really wish they would have invested more in Drax personally, he said, because I think Drax has more of a story to tell. I think Drax has a really interesting backstory, which they dropped the ball on. That's no dig on Marvel. They had their slate. I know what they're focused on. That's what they have. They slated it out. But man, I think they really missed the ball on Drax. He has such a great backstory.
It sounds like a little dig on Marvel, if you ask me. But then he's been talking about this for a while about how he thought they should do a spin-off with Drax. He deserves his own movie. They didn't do it. He's done now. It's be his 3 movies, a holiday special, 2 Avengers movies. He did Thor. He's been everywhere. And he said that, the biggest thing for him, he says, is relief because I guess the prosthetics are a lot to go through. But also on top of that, he says it's hard to keep his Dave body on, He says he's getting too old. And he says it's getting harder and harder to keep that muscle on. So it was a relief. I know he's talking about he's in his 50s. He's like almost 60s. Like to keep that, going, it's harder and harder the older he gets. And he wants to start wearing shirts in movies, which I guess makes sense. You come from professional wrestling, you have your shirt off all the time. And he wore like tiny little tighty whitey spandex things. So, he's probably like, it's time for a change. But again, it's part of the job.
He was just in Glass Onion in nothing but a Speedo. So I don't really know what he's talking about.
I know. And he said that was a better, again, he's going into like how he doesn't want to be remembered for Drax. He was saying that Drax is fun and all, but that's not what I should be remembered for. I should be remembered for something better with more depth and nothing silly like Drax. But he's great as that character and made his career. I don't get why people have to be like, oh, I can't give this, the time of day because, well, and I love Dave, but it's like, this made your career, man. Like, come on, like stop giving it so much shit. It made your career, gave you these opportunities. And I get it. It's been tough. We're not saying that acting's easy, but a lot of people have other things.
It's actually a hilarious character. He
it's
takes
a great
everything
character.
100% literally. It's actually brilliant.
And he's perfect.
And it's
in
hard
it.
to play. It's hard to play that part. He can't have any emotion. He takes everything literally. He does a really great job. It's not a simple character.
But that's what he was saying about it, though, too. Like he was doing, I guess, M. Night Shyamalan, I can never say his name, Shyamalan's new movie, and apparently there's a lot of like oneers and a lot of long takes because it's very drawn out because it's of course like a horror psychological thriller. And he said that was really challenging because he had monologues of dialogue and he had to be really in it the whole time. And I'm like, yes, that's a different kind of thing. That's challenging, but this is also challenging being Drax. Like to be that funny like that anybody playing that role could have been really bad. And him honestly being booked as that part was really tough. Okay, Jake, you hear this? Have you seen the Guardians of the movies? What do you think about Batista playing Drax? And do you think that he should keep doing it, or do you think it's time for him to move on?
Well, it sounds like he has mixed emotions about it. Really, he thinks. I mean, there's kind of a. I don't want to say hypocritical, but there's like a. He wants one thing, but he's not. He doesn't want to do that thing, but he thinks the character deserves that thing, but he's relieved that he doesn't have to do it anymore. So it's almost like being stuck inside of Drax was too much for him to handle because he wanted it to be more. So maybe that was the challenge, was wanting the character to be able to do more than what it could. But I liked it in the movies. I think it was
a great job.
Yeah, I think he did a good job. I mean, like Sabrina was saying, that character was exactly who he needed to be. So I couldn't see it being, if you ever did, it'd be like making Spock emotional or showing Spock with kids,
Yeah,
like
doesn't
trying
work.
to raise. It's like it'd be like young Sheldon meets Star Trek, but he's like, I don't know how to explain that. So I can see what he's saying, and I think him being able to express himself more as an actor, in other roles might be what he's looking for, like he gets to do with M. Night Shyamalan's movie.
And he's been branching out more and more. That seems like this led to that. But the thing is, with these
Right.
Guardians movies, it's really an ensemble cast. It's not like it's all about one person. Of course, Star-Lord's very much a factor of being the driving force for the whole series, but everyone has a little cog, and that's when it comes. It's harder with an ensemble piece. I guess you feel a little bit unsatisfied sometimes because you're just here and there, but those moments leave an impact like he has. Like it's amazing. A lot of actors can't do that in those parts like that. Ensemble, it's hard to shine in sometimes, and he does. He stands out. So I think that he's also, like, when he's looking at this, he's not really giving it the weight that it deserves, and like not giving himself credit for the work that he's put into it. And I get it; it's tough for prosthetics. I know he was in that chair. When you start your morning, like a lot of times, let's say you're starting shooting at like 7:00. Let's say crew calls 7:00 on a show. Well, the actors are coming in at 4 a.m. a lot of times to do this kind of makeup, so multiple hours in the chair. Get the set, rehearse at 7. Sometimes go back to more makeup or hair or wardrobe, then go back to set and start shooting. And then at the end of the day, it takes like at least an hour to get this stuff off. So I could see that being hard. Keeping the weight on could be hard. But again, he did a great job. I don't know. I think he might be letting go too soon, because I think they would do a lot more with him. And the fact that just because this is going to be done, like with James Gunn, I don't think he should shoot himself in the foot. I think he should still keep the door open for this opportunity, because he does a great job in the character, and it's different than a lot of other roles that he's played. So I don't know. I think he's great. I just think that he's really just looking at this all wrong in a way. Sabrina, do you think that he should stay on as Drax? Do you think if they offer him another movie, he should do it, or do you think he should walk away?
I mean, no, I don't think he should walk away. I think it's like you said, that role made his career. He wouldn't have a career if it wasn't for that, honestly. And, I get that you want to do more important work, and that you want to be more of the focus of something, I understand that. But at the same time, as you said, also, it's an ensemble cast, and they were all great. They all did a great job. Like Groot, all he says is, "I am Groot," and he's my favorite character in the Guardians of the Galaxy. He says one line, except for at the end of the first one, he said, "We are Groot," but that's it. And he was amazing. And I hate Vin Diesel. I think we talked about this once before, but I don't really care for him in anything except for that. And I was very impressed with the fact that he could do that with, express all this emotion with one word. The same way that I'm very impressed that Drax could be so deadpan and funny and find shit funny that's not funny, and that it can work in a cinematic setting. That's really difficult than being given direct jokes that are going to make people laugh because it's good writing. Like, he played it well. And I don't think anyone should say that they're walking away from anything. Like, when singers retire, "Oh, I'm done." And like actors retire, "Oh, I'm going to go cobble." And, but it's like, just don't retire, because you're going to come back at some point anyway, and you look like an idiot. So just, stop being dumb, And just that's it. Don't even address it. Be like, okay, well, I'm not, but he did say
Yeah.
he wasn't going to do Guardians 3 unless James Gunn did it. So now that James Gunn is not there, like I see what he's doing, but I think it's stupid. It's like almost like shooting yourself in the foot. And like great that M. Night Shyamalan is casting you in something, but he hasn't had a good movie since The Sixth Sense. So pump your brakes, bud. Maybe just relax a little bit.
He does have The Servant, which is out, or the new season's about
to start.
That's
a TV show. He has not had a good movie since The Sixth Sense.
And I was going to say that's the best. I think it's the best thing he's done is The Servant in general. Yeah. And I think if you haven't seen it, Jake, I don't know if you haven't seen it, but even see it, it's really good. It's psychological. It's scary. It's it's just a great dynamic with the family. You really don't know what's happening. It's a good thriller. And they've had, I think this is the 4th season coming out, or is it 5th? 4th, right? I think it's 4th.
I don't remember.
But it's coming out very soon.
It is very good.
Apple TV Plus. If you don't have it, check it out. It's fun. Anyways, Batista.
Walk away. He's not going to be The Rock.
Well, but the thing is, he's getting more opportunities. That's the thing too. And like I said, like he's getting more leading roles. He had that zombie movie on Netflix. Then he had
he doesn't want to be The Rock. He doesn't want to be that character anymore. He wants to be like a serious actor. But like, I mean, I don't know. Like you can't put a square peg in a round hole.
And he also kept saying, he's also talking about his career in general. And he said, like, honestly, I just want to be a better actor. I don't really care about the limelight. I don't care about all this stuff. I just want to like advance and get better and harness my craft. I just want to get more roles that challenge me and make me a better actor.
He also said he wanted to be number 1 on the call sheet. So that's like a little conflicting, bro.
It's a little conflicting. I know. Sometimes be number 1. You got to put the makeup on, Dave. That's all I'm saying.